Hello, my name is Brianna Gomez, and today I will be sharing how the figure Judith is depicted in art and how different artists interpret her. Who is Judith? The origins of Judith come from the book of the Bible in the Old Testament, depicting a Jewish woman who saves her people from an Assyrian invasion in Bethulia. She seeks out the Assyrian general Holofernes and sneaks into the enemy camp. With the power of her sexuality, she seduces Holofernes and gets him drunk. Later that night, with the help of her maidservant, they sneak into her room and kill him in his sleep. Once they completed their mission, they went back to the city of Bethulia to show the Israelites that he was truly dead, which then led them to revolt against the Assyrian army. The pieces that we will be discussing today are Giorgione's Judith, Artemisia Gentileschi's Judith beheading Holofernes, and Johann List's Judith in the tent of Holofernes. Giorgione's Judith, completed in 1504, depicts Judith as a woman of great courage and strength. The composition and use of vibrant colors has our eyes focused on Judith and has our attention moved downward with her stepping on the decapitated head of her foe Holofernes in a cavalier manner. She stands out from the background with her vibrant dress against the more muted tones of the landscape behind her. Going deeper into the background, we see a city along the horizon as the dawn approaches. The city that is depicted is Castelfranco, Giorgione's childhood home. It is common to see Castelfranco in his works. When creating his pieces, Giorgione often depicted poems and stories with deeper meanings behind them. He became very well known in the Venetian period because of his works. Giorgione's interpretation of Judith gives her the appearance of an untroubled goddess, which can be shown by the way she is posed. The serenity on her face would normally not be on the face of a woman that had just committed a murder. The juxtaposition between these elements are what makes this piece unique compared to other depictions. Artemisia Gentileschi's Judith beheading Holofernes, completed in 1613, is her rendition of the biblical heroine that was inspired by Caravaggio. Using similar imagery to Caravaggio, it depicts Judith and her maidservant sneaking into Holofernes' room in the dead of night, holding him down and cutting his head off in a struggle. The composition features the use of diagonal line and has a lot of detail in the fabrics. We see blood splatter on the bed sheets as the blade severs the head from the body. Artemisia's use of graphic detail and realistic physical effort is what put this piece on the map. It was said that her inspiration behind this painting was motivated by a real-life event from Artemisia's life, as she was assaulted by the artist Agostino Tassi. It was her way of executing her revenge, channeling all of her anger into this painting. Her strength and fearless spirit was revolutionary for its time and thus made Gentileschi shine in the Italian Baroque era. Johann List's Judith in the Tent of Holofernes, created in 1622, depicts Judith looking over her shoulder post-decapitation of Holofernes, stuffing his head in a basket. List's version is also heavily influenced by Caravaggio, with the warm tones, luxurious fabrics, and dramatic lighting. The way that List depicts her gaze makes the viewers feel uneasy. He showcases the reality of what one would look like after such a struggle as this, inputting flushed cheeks, glistening sweat, disheveled dress, and undone hair. The exposed features of both Judith and Holofernes represent sensuality and how Judith used her femininity to seduce Holofernes. Overall, Judith was a very influential heroine in art. representing righteousness and godliness through her actions in the name of justice. This story reflects God's intervention and how Judith was used as an instrument in the hands of God. She was able to achieve something so impossible with merely her average strength and her faith in God. Because she is known for her moral character and wisdom, she was seen as a strong figure in the eyes of artists and people who gaze at any artworks depicting her. Thank you for watching.